We keep calling it the tragedy of King Lear. Oh, how very Shakespearean, how very grand. Cue the violins, fetch the thunder machine, let's all prepare ourselves for 3 hours of gloom and doom. But honestly, strip away the cloak of high tragedy, and what you've actually got is a family talent show gone catastrophically wrong. A competition of sorts. Britain's Next Top Daughter, the Flattery Edition. Enter Lear, an aging monarch with more ego than sense, staggering onto the stage like a pensioner who's had one sherry too many. What does he want? Not peace, not legacy, not good governance. No. What His Majesty truly desires is a public declaration of undying affection, a royal love fest. Think of it as a medieval episode of The X Factor, except the prize is half the kingdom. First up, Goneril and Regan. Ah yes, the corporate ladder climbers of the 17th century. Masters of sycophancy, their words are smoother than a freshly buttered scone. Father, you are the sun, the moon, the stars, and possibly the entire Marks and Spencer meal deal. Lear laps it up like a Labrador with double cream. Property deeds are handed out as if they were raffle tickets. Everyone's smiling. The kingdom's safe. For now. And then, disaster. In steps Cordelia, our saint, our martyr, the poster child for honest living, a young woman so pure she practically smells of lavender and moral superiority. She's the character teachers rave about, the one critics call a symbol of truth. But make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, Cordelia is a walking, talking Molotov cocktail. Lear asks her the same question. And you, my dearest, what will you say to prove your love? And what does she reply with? One word, one spectacular, world-ending, history-altering word. Nothing. Nothing. You could practically hear the orchestra choking on their instruments. This wasn't honesty. It was the aristocratic equivalent of flipping the bird. In a room full of flattery, she decided to go full monk, radiating disdain with the smugness of someone who's just read half a page of Marcus Aurelius and thinks they've ascended. The message was clear. Your love is cheap, theirs is noisy, but mine is pure, cosmic, and requires no silly words. Well done, Cordelia. You've just virtue signaled your way into national catastrophe. Let's be clear. Cordelia knew her father. She knew his vanity was bigger than the Tower of London. She knew one dainty little compliment would have secured peace, land, and perhaps even free wine at Christmas. But no, she went for nothing. It's the ideological rigidity of a teenager who refuses to say thank you because capitalism. Admirable in theory, in practice, about as useful as a chocolate teapot. This is the curse of the so-called idealist, the tragicomic disease of toxic purity. It struts about dressed as humility, but underneath it reeks of arrogance. Cordelia's truth was nothing more than an iron rod of principle she refused to bend, even if it meant the whole kingdom snapping in half. She wasn't being noble, she was being obstinate. She wasn't sacrificing herself, she was sacrificing everyone else. So, out she goes. Lear, red in the face, bellows and banishes her. And Cordelia walks off not like a victim, but like an Oscar winner who didn't actually win. Head held high, convinced she's the only one who gets it. She's not broken-hearted, she's smug. This is martyrdom by choice. Fast forward a few acts, do we find Cordelia living quietly, knitting by the fire, writing letters of mild disappointment? No. She returns not with flowers and apologies, but with a foreign army. Yes, the saint has become a general. Under the banner of rescuing father, she marches into Britain, setting off a civil war. A rescue mission? Please. This is the medieval equivalent of sending in NATO to prove your Instagram caption was right all along. And so the punchline arrives. The kingdom collapses. Lear spirals into madness. Bodies pile up like an Elizabethan episode of EastEnders. And who lit the first match? Was it the egotistical king? Not really. It was Cordelia with her sanctimonious nothing. The kingdom didn't fall because Lear banished her. It fell because she refused to say three little words, three meaningless words that could have saved everyone. Three meaningless words. Love you, Dad. But no, she chose the nuclear option. And so the so-called tragedy becomes something closer to a very dark sitcom, Keeping Up with the Lears. You've got the power-hungry sisters, the delusional father, and Cordelia, the patron saint of catastrophic idealism, turning family drama into geopolitical disaster. The irony, of course, is delicious. Cordelia's silence was meant to prove that her love was purer, truer, nobler. In the end, it only proved that her love was utterly useless. Tragedy? Maybe. But also undeniably a farce. Shakespeare, bless him, knew what he was doing. Behind the storm and the screams, there's a joke lurking, a very English joke. A joke that says, sometimes the greatest fools are the ones who believe they're saints. And if that isn't the most British ending imaginable, I don't know what is.